channel length modulation. How to derive the mirror ratio for this guy? Or if you cannot write it in the form of I out over I ref, you can if you cannot write into this form, you can also write I out equals to something I ref. It doesn't matter as long as you can find the relationship between your I out and I ref. So what's the current ratio? Current mirror ratio. What's the relationship between your output current and input current? Which one? Again.
Current output over current reference is W over L.
No. That one you are looking at simple current mirror. Now we are talking about Whitlock current mirror. Because we changed the circuit structure, right? Do you agree on that? We changed, right? So we changed the circuit structure. We also change, the current mirror equation should also change, right? So I need a mirror ratio for this Whitlock current mirror. And if we cannot get the ratio, which is in the form of I out over I ref, I can also find the relationship between my I out and I ref, meaning that I can find an equation for this I out which contains the I ref term. That also can, because it describes the relationship between my I out and I ref. It's a long equation.
It's the in between.
It's a long equation.
It's something about the string in the wire in the middle.
Again? Sorry?
VGS over. I have no idea. VGS. VGS 1 minus. Alright.
It's inside the notes. I read through your new notes already. I'm very sure it's inside your new notes as well. This equation is a bit complicated, and I don't think you expect to remember this equation. But not sometimes. For current mirror question, the only two kinds of question they can give is, one is they give you the schematic and give you all the value, the I out, I ref, blah blah blah, K, mu C R, blah blah blah. They ask you to calculate certain value. That's one type of question. The other type is they give you a circuit, let's say they give you the Whitlock current mirror and ask you to derive its input-output current relationship. So the final answer you should, for Whitlock current mirror, the final answer you should get is something like this. It's I out equals to something, then the inside the equation it contains the I ref. Okay? So now the question is not whether you can remember this equation. It's how you get this equation.
here, right, the VGS minus VGS what? I don't really see how it becomes that. VGS1 minus VGS2, that's what you write.
Are we talking about the
I think so.
wait a minute. Okay. We are at this point and ask you to derive this equation. How I get this equation. So what's the first step? This is the thing I want to get. So I start with this circuit only. So how to derive?
Compare the two sides.
How to derive? What is so different between this one and that one, other than the components? Yes, other than the resistor. Another key point is, by adding this resistor, something got changed. Something got changed.
The voltage drop.
Oh, where's the voltage drop?
Intermediate across RS.
Across RS. So after I add in this RS, there is a voltage drop across this RS. What's the result? By having this voltage drop, originally is what?
RS will suck up a lot of the voltage drop.
No. Originally is the source of my M1 is connecting to ground directly, right? Okay. And source M2 is connecting to ground directly. How about this one?
Yes, a partial RS.
Source of my M1 connecting to the ground, similar to this one. How about the source of my M2? Source my M2 is no longer connect to the ground, it's connecting to my RS. Okay? So if you are going to write the VGS, here is my VGS1. Agree? Where's my VGS2? Here's my VGS2. Originally my VGS2 is between here and here. But now it's between here and here because of this resistor. Okay, so what's the voltage drop across this resistor? Delta V across RS equals to
VGS1 minus VGS2.
VGS1 minus VGS2. Why?
VGS2 plus that y equals VGS1.
It's like you are climbing the staircase, right? You start from the base level. Climb one VGS up to this point. Then you climb down one VGS to this point. So which level you are in? You are at this level, right? You climb one VGS, so plus one VGS1 and minus one VGS2. Then you are at this level. And this level, because here is connecting to the ground, so the voltage across this RS is just this value. So this one is the voltage across your RS. So what is so special about this voltage? You got a resistor, and you know the voltage across this resistor is this value, so you know the current, right? It's my IR. It's the current flowing through my resistor, which is delta VRS over RS. What is so special about this current? This current is also my
Output current.
output current. Okay, so if I sub this one into here, it will be VGS1 minus VGS2 over my resistor equals to my I out. Because the current flowing through this resistor is the same as the current here, right? This one is a MOSFET. ID equals to IS. Here is my IS, which is my IR. Here is my ID, which is my I out. So your output current, now the expression is like this. This is the expression of the I out, output current expression. Okay? So now what you should think is how can I convert this left-hand side, because this left-hand side you can say is all about, although this RS is a value, is a physical value, I can just treat it as a constant, but for the top part, it's all about VGS, right? So now what you should think is how can I convert all these VGS blah 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 into something which relate to my I reference.
Use the
Because if I can replace this VGS by something contains my I reference, the whole equation on the left-hand side will be an equation which contains I reference only, right?
the VGS.
Then I
minus
find
VT
the relationship between my IR and I reference. Then you can get this equation. Okay, so now your job is to just try to convert your VGS into something related to your I reference. So, like what you mentioned just now, how to convert your VGS into I reference?
Got a VGS minus VT square, the aspect ratio, that formula, then
So,
make VGS your
Yeah,
subject.
so that basically is the ID equation of your MOSFET. ID equation of your MOSFET is?
The VGS minus VT.
If we ignore the channel length modulation. Okay? This one is the general ID equation for your MOSFET, right? So it describes the current flowing through your MOSFET and the gate source voltage, the relationship between your VGS and ID. Okay? So if you shift all the terms, you shift your VGS, you make your VGS the subject, you can manipulate this whole equation into VGS equals to something, 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 which contains your ID, right? Agree? Okay? So now you get your VGS expression, which contains your ID. And for this case, your ID is just your IREF, right? Because you look at this transistor, your ID is your IREF. Okay? So now you have one equation, which is VGS equals something, something, IREF. They just sub in here. Okay, then you do whatever math manipulation, you can get this equation. It's not difficult, right? It's as long as you know how to get this one.
So you started off with a point, just to summarize. To derive this, I must first know that circuit has an additional resistor.
Yes.
That's the main difference.
Yes.
That additional resistor causes voltage drop across the last part of the transistor.
No, the additional resistor will take part of the original VGS.
In this case, it just happens to be originally used to be VGS1,
Yes.
but because of voltage drop across RS, it drops to VGS2.
Yes.
So that difference gives you the first equation, right?
Yes.
Then the second equation to get the current across IR is what I lost.
Now, it's first, we found the voltage difference across this resistor. Okay, after I found the voltage difference across this resistor, I can get the current flowing through this resistor.
Because it's already given, you already know the distance.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you will get the current flowing through this resistor, and this current is the IS of my M2. Okay, because IS equals to ID, so this current will be equals to this I out. So basically, I find the I out expression. So the only thing left is how I can replace this VGS term into something containing my I reference.
For the reference, you make use of standard equation.
Yes. Easy, right? It's not very complicated because it's only DC. We never talk about So if I change this MOSFET into BJT, then how?
Current will just be
BJT current, right? Okay. It's the same method. Okay. It's also we find the voltage difference across this resistor. Then I found the current flowing through this resistor. And I think inside your notes, your lecturer got mention, for simplicity, we assume this current equals to this current for your BJT as well. Because usually for this current, it's the sum of this and this, right? For BJT.
That's the IB lah.
Yes. So I think your inside the notes, your lecturer got mentioned for simplicity. We just assume this one equals to this one. So basically, it's the same analysis method. The only difference is this equation is different for BJT. Because this equation for BJT, I think, is the IS exponential something, right? So the final expression for this I out for BJT, on the right hand side, it will contain some long term. I can't remember, long something, exponential something, whatever. It's because of
I see
the standard equation is different.
Exponential.
Yeah, it's because of the standard equation is different. You just go back and play around with all the math and how to derive.
Sorry, the equation in the green, right, can be found in our notes or not?
Yes, it's
现
given.
在呀，必须。
我的都是新的来的。
啊，我信了。
Slide number or page?
Page
4-5。
4, 5这个哈。哦。Okay, thank you.
Okay, now what you can see is this equation is very complicated, right?
Yeah.
Originally, the equation is I out over I rep. If we ignore the channel length modulation, it will just be W over L1, 2 over W over L1, right? This is the original equation. And by manipulating the size of my transistor, I can manipulate my I out and I ref directly, right? The ratio. Okay, it's like 1-to-1 ratio. Here times 2, here also times 2. But now, when you add in this RS, the relationship between your I out and I ref is no longer linear. You can see here, right? You got this whatever blah 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 there. So by manipulating this aspect ratio, which is a W over L, this whole term is called aspect ratio. Okay, so by manipulating the aspect ratio value, you can no longer get a 1-to-1 conversion between your I out and I ref. That's the only drawback. That makes your design more complicated because originally I just need to consider this ratio, but now it's like not so linear. But we still gain benefit, which is the output impedance. The output impedance, if you still can remember, is what? The equation? R out 2 times
1 plus G.
1 plus GM2
GM.
RX. Okay. You just remember it's R out 2 because R out 2 is the original value. And this improved version definitely got a bigger value than R out 2, so it should be R out 2 times something. And the benefit we gain is this increase in output impedance. So okay, so now we have this improved out. Okay, it's big, but we want to make it bigger, even bigger, much bigger. Okay, so they introduced this one is a width lah, with the current mirror. So in order to further increase my output impedance, they introduced another structure which is called cascode. cascode current mirror got two benefits. It improved the output resistance of the original Whitlock current mirror, and it improves the matching. Hello, matching. Got any idea about matching? What's the meaning of matching?
Last week you mentioned about something about mismatch.
Yes, something about mismatch. If you look at this simple current mirror, the VDS1 is here, right? VDS1. The VDS2 is here, VDS2. Okay? This VDS1, because of this wire, this piece of wire, this VDS1 will always equals to a VGS1 because the D is connecting to G. Okay? But for this transistor, it's VDS2. It's a floating value. Because although your S is connecting to the ground, this D is connecting to the external circuit. So it will depend on the external circuit. The external circuit will define what's the voltage at this D. So your VDS2 is actually depending on the external circuit. So what's the problem about this? Is your VDS2 may not be equal to your VDS1. Because the VDS1 is always VGS1. It's a fixed value. But this VDS2 are depending on the external circuit. And external circuit sometimes, is not designed by the same person, okay? So your VDS2 is not the same as your VDS1. So this is called mismatching. Because these two transistors, their terminal conditions, their terminal voltages, is not exactly the same. So this is mismatch. Okay? So if you look at Whitlock current mirror, it also have this problem. Here is your VDS1. Here is your VDS2. This VDS1 is also the same. We're equal to a VGS1. Always. But this VDS2, okay, this terminal is also connecting to the external. So this VDS2 will also be decided by external circuit. So this introduced mismatch as well. So in order to solve this problem, they introduced this cascode current mirror, which can improve your output impedance first, then it can improve this mismatch. They can increase the matching. That's why they proposed this cascode current mirror. So the basic structure of the cascode current mirror is, why it is called cascode current mirror?
Because cascaded.
Because it's cascaded of what? Yes, they are duplicated which structure? They are duplicating which structure? This one is a simple current mirror structure. Okay. Cascode current mirror is just, I copy this structure again. I put it on top. It's exactly the same structure. And here is my output.
Now I get it.
The top and bottom are exactly the same, right? The structure. It's just a simple current mirror structure. A simple current mirror pair. I just copy it twice.
It's
Then it's
reflected
your-
about the axis lah. The
Yeah.
red axis.
Yes. You just copy then paste. Then that's your cascode current mirror. Easy to remember, right? I mean, structure-wise. But by using this kind of a structure, we gain higher output impedance and matching. How to get matching? First of all, we discuss about matching. Matching? Why we say this structure improves the matching? By saying about matching, basically we are looking at the VDS of my transistor, right? Because you see over there, we are talking about VDS. How about the VDS? Okay? Let's say, for example, this one is my M1. M2, M3, M4. Here's my what? VDS1. Where's my VDS2? Here's my VDS2, right? VDS3. And VDS4. What's the relationship between my VDS1 and VDS2? These two. VDS1, because it is the diode connection, so my VDS1 is actually my VGS1, right? Here's VGS1. VDS1 is actually equal to my VGS1. Agree? How about VDS2? What's VDS2 value? It's about climbing staircase. Yes? This part is fun. It's about climbing staircase.
1 plus 3.
Again?
1 plus 3 minus 4.
Again? 1?
1 plus 3 minus
1 plus 3 minus 4. You are saying about what? It's about 1 plus 3 minus 4. You are saying what?
4. Or the VD.
Oh, the V?
Or the V.
V what?
VDS.
V? VGS or VDS?
VGS.
VGS. Okay, it's about VGS1 plus VGS3 minus VGS4.
Say one more time.
Can you see that? VGS1 plus VGS3 minus VGS4. I reached this point.
So
You
that's
see that?
VGS2 lah.
Yeah, finding VDS.
Can you see that? I'm asking what's the value of my VDS2. So actually I'm asking the value here, right? So how to get the value here? I start from ground. I increase 1 VGS. From here to here is 1 VGS, and from here to here is another VGS, right? Because everything here is connecting together. Okay, so from here to here is another VGS, VGS3. So here what's the voltage here? It's VGS1 plus VGS3 at this point. Then I go down. Okay, here to here is another VGS, which is my VGS4. So I minus. Okay, so at this point, it is actually VGS1 plus VGS3 minus VGS4 is equal to my VDS2. And because it's a current mirror, right? This whole structure is a current mirror, right? So I ref, we assume I ref equals to your I out. So here is your I out. Okay. And you see from the structure, we can see that we can assume all the VGS are VGS. All the VGS are equal.
So they're the same.
Because here is VGS1, VGS2, so everything is equal, right? All the VGS are equal. So it's VGS plus VGS minus VGS, we get VGS.
Same as.
So my VGS2 is actually equal to VGS. And is equal to my VDS1. Because my VDS1 equals to VGS1 equals to VGS. So here and here, you can see these two transistors, they have exactly the same condition for their all terminals. Their VGS are the same, their VDS are also the same. So these two are perfect current mirror pair. Okay?
If you go to add VGS, then add VGS3. So why do you minus VGS2?
Again?
Because you
Added
down.
VGS1.
Climb up,
VGS.
bro, then minus away.
Climb down.
Which one?
As in, I don't understand this climbing up and climbing up. How do you determine?
It's like I going from a lower potential to a higher potential, so I plus. Okay, here is the ground, right? It's 0 volt. So in order to go from 0 to this point, I plus because the voltage is going up. So I plus 1 VGS. And from here, I want to go to here, right? So how to go? You look at the wire, it's the wire is connecting here, here, here. So everything along this wire, they are sharing the same voltage. Okay, so here is also VGS1. And from here to here, I go across this VGS2, VGS3, right?
So that's another minus plus, so it's another climb.
This one is climbing up because you see the arrow? Here is G, here is S, so here is higher, here is lower. So it's climbing up, okay? And from here to here is go down, so it's minus. So by employing this cascade current mirror structure, we get a perfect match current mirror pair. That's how it improves the matching. But I got one point. It only improves the matching for this pair. These pair are still mismatched. Because you see this terminal is still connecting to the outside, right? It will still be decided by the external circuit. But it doesn't matter. Because these two pair ensures the current, force the same current through these two transistors. Because they already match. So after they match, they will draw a certain current, right? And these two current will definitely be the same. And they are forcing these two current flowing through this guy and this guy. So they are forcing the same current flowing through this unmatched pair. Although you are not matched, but I'm forcing this same current through these two transistors. So it doesn't matter whether you are matched or don't match, because the final thing I want to get is the current. I want the current to be the same.
Then your final, the blue one, VGS. Which VGS is it?
We assume all the VGS are the same, which is equals to VGS.
Oh.
So this is about matching. This is how they get this matching. And what's the minimum voltage at this output? When you design an external circuit, you need to be very careful about this voltage, this terminal voltage. You cannot push this voltage to be too low, because we want all the transistors to work